How do you send an Outlook email or a Teams message in the form submit within Power Apps without using the Power Automate flow? So this is how you're gonna do it. Imagine you're at your screen and this is your new form. Now first, we're not gonna do anything special with submit button on the form. It's just still doing the submit thing. The trick is we're gonna select the form and we're gonna modify this on success property. In here, you are going to use an action called Office 365 Outlook.send email v2. The first parameter you're gonna use is the email address. Now the reason I'm using this variable by taking out a forms data is because I'm capturing this email address or UPN in the form anyway. That's why I'm using the variable. You can just replace this with an email just for your testing. The second parameter is the email subject. And then the third parameter is a message. You can put anything you want. I've used some variable here because I'm capturing these informations in my form, but you can just have a static message. Okay, so let's try that. We'll play that. I'm gonna just put minimal information here. Say this is JC. Ignore that. I'm just gonna pick a user within my directory, and if we submit, I've already logged into this user's email, so we'll see there's a message will be delivered. So we submit that. We got an in-app notification. Now let's go to our Outlook. You might see the red dot already. And this is the email. JC is waiting. Because I haven't put other information in, that's why you see this message is a bit cut off. But this is how you submit a Outlook message when user complete their form. Now, how do you send a Teams message on the form submit without actually using the Power Automate flow? That is a little bit tricky, but let me just explain the function I'm using here. So I'm using the Microsoft Teams function called create chat. First, we're going to create a chat, and then we can post message to the chat. So we are also using a variable called, you can call it anything. Well, we're creating a variable here. So the variable will hold the chat that we created. Next, we are creating another variable for the messages, and this variable, second variable, will hold the message information. And it is also referring to the first variable. So this recipient and message body, you have to use that. Okay, these are not the name you create. On the recipient, you're gonna provide the channel ID, which we can get it from the first variable that we created. So that's providing a Teams chat channel ID that we just created. And message body, again, you can put anything you want here. I'm just grabbing these variables, but it's optional for you. And the last operation ID we're gonna use is called the Microsoft Teams.post message to conversation. So you're gonna use user and group chat exactly like that. And the third parameter is pass JSON function, JSON, and quote our second variable, which is the var post message. And this will actually create a one-on-one chat between the Power App and the user they are picking up from this. And also on the first variable, you might notice in the topic, we left blank here. You can call anything, but it's not gonna make a difference because this create chat is actually for creating multiple chat. In Microsoft Teams, when you have more than 2 recipients, you can customize the name of the chat. But because we only have one member, literally one member in this chat, it's a one-on-one, that's why this topic will not show anyway. So let's go ahead and try this. Go to register form. Let's see, Kaz is visiting. I'm gonna pick a different user than the one that made the app because you cannot create chat with yourself in this case. And we just go submit. Now I have already logged in to Tony Stark's Teams message. So now you can see the in-app notification. This is Tony's Teams, and you can see the message says your visitor is waiting. So this is how you can send a message on form submit to your internal user without using Power Automate Flow.